I think that's how Beast Hunter attacks SIGH here.
We'll see how they end up doing this, whether or not they ban out that Ulrich as we get right into the draft. Match 2 of the day, SIGH versus the Beast Hunter. We're on Orman Temple Knight, so this brings into question the rooks. Of course, the Beast Hunter not wanting to rook mess with it. I think they're going to pick it, though. Hi there. It's something we don't talk about all that often, but he is one of the best rooks in the world and in North America. So to see them not pick it on Orman Temple Knight, a map where rook is so good, would be very surprising.
Rook is one of the characters that one of the times they played Space Station, that's what Hythar played, and rock Space Station to the core. And Iva getting banned out, so dope won't be on him. And Rygon coming through early for SIGH, so Arcadian going to be rocking Rygon.
I think this draft is already looking very good for SIGH. The fact that they banned out the Iva is very good because the Iva, of course, the natural complements to the Rook. SIGH was like, you can have the Rook. We're just going to ban out what goes well with it. And this is going to leave the Beast Hunter in a situation where they'll likely pick Jumong. And very good against Jumong is the Rygon early on because he doesn't have to deal or worry about like the cooldowns.
Right.
He can just continue to go in, and if he ever finds a successful initiation onto Jumong, he can just train him and he won't let up. So this is a bit of a concern for the Beast Hunter, but the Older is picked up for SIGH, which is a pretty okay matchup for the Jumong simply because of the rain of arrows, but I'm still a little bit concerned for this Rygon.
Well, I think it all comes down this second pick. They block out Jumong, so they don't even want to deal with it. So we will see 0 Jumong.
Destiny?
Maybe a Destiny on the side of Beast Hunter.
Yeah, I like the Jumong ban from the Beast Hunter too, understanding that Jumong is so good against Rook and unimportance Jumong is something you don't want to see, so they take it off.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that maybe you see... Okay, Iva does come through for SIGH, so we will see unimportant on that, and Varesh for dope. So Varesh saw a lot of success in the last game we just saw, and I love Varesh. He's fun.
He does a lot of damage.
He does lots of things.
Yeah, and this is like such a cheesy comp from the Beast Hunter.
Yeah.
You have the damage amp from the Hand of Judgment. You also have the damage amp from Armor Break. The amount of damage and pressure they're going to be able to output in like these split seconds, similar to Unsung, is going to be incredible. If they play together and coordinate well, the Beast Hunter will be able to take like 150 damage in like 3 seconds reliably.
I think it's a really good idea, especially against the Rygon, who is going to try to put that early pressure onto you. You have Varesh with the Shatter to kind of counter out the parry and get rid of Rygon's what he does well, and that's just get in your face and get out without taking a lot of damage. That composition allows you to get that damage onto him and get that damage amp onto SIGH. Now, on the side of SIGH, you have aggressive comp versus aggressive comp.
Yeah.
So it's going to be difficult. I think that with the Varesh, it gives Beast Hunter a little bit of an advantage in that department. It just comes down to, can they focus out Arcadian early, bait him out? Yeah,
both of these comps are trying to do a similar thing, but they have different ways of doing it, right? Yeah. I'm interested to see whether or not the Rygon with the Jumong is going to be successful, whether or not Rygon is going to be able to force out enough outs from the blue team to enable Unimportant to be successul. Or not the Jumong, rather the Iva, sorry.
Right.
To see whether or not he's going to be able to have that pressure. We'll see as we get right into it.
Well, I've always been impressed with Unimportant's Iva. He'll have to pull through here. Early, Arcadian already boxed out, and they want to go onto him. He takes a couple of shots to the face and gets out harm's way. The zap coming through to get him out of it. He actually did a lot of damage over on, Flame.
Yeah, Flame took quite a chunk. The Orb is going to go to the Beast Hunter, though, going to help heal that up quite a little bit. And Arcadian, he's getting pretty low, Jorby.
Yeah, he is getting low there. Doing a ton of damage to him. Actually caught in between. The time travel going to bail him out. Does he try to get the stun? No, he does not get it.
Okay.
And going in, they can want more damage onto him, so Arcadian already struggling here early.
Oh, Inflamed, he hit that parry and then immediately was tractor beamed after it. Not an ideal outcome there. But the Orb once again going to go to the Beast Hunter, and that Varesh ultimate going to clean up Unimportant, take him right off the map here.
So Varesh coming in big for the Beast Hunter. And it's been a struggle. Arcadian took a lot of damage, and SIGH on the side for Inflamed. We're doing good trading damage onto Inflamed for as much damage as Arcadian was taking, but Arcadian's all your front line, so it's so difficult for you to be able to aggress past it. They had to be able to get the trade onto Inflamed. They could not do it, and good control here. Beast Hunter take round 1.
Yep, the Beast Hunter on the back of 3 orbs to 0, gonna take round 1 and come in swinging, and it looked pretty good for him throughout. It didn't look like, even though he had the support of an Iva and the zaps that Iva brings to the table, Rygon was able to have a successful initiation. And if Rygon and Arcadian are not able to get in, then SIGH are going to have a very hard time.
We already saw Arcadian. He tried to get aggressive early, and he found nothing. He just kept getting bopped around. So, and that's kind of what I expected, especially with the composition that they had. So they got to find a different angle of attack, because what they just did not work.
Yeah, it's funny, because Rygon kind of wants to tunnel on somebody, but there's not really anybody you can like successfully tunnel on the side of the Beast Hunter. Ulrich, he really likes to go in and play aggressive, as does the Rook.
Oh, he's taking more damage again.
Okay, this is the start you needed if you're Arcadian. Oh, as I
big, yeah, no, sorry, the shatters, yeah, you definitely
I think I jinxed him.
The zap gets him out of harm's way, but Arcadian taking a ton of damage. And this is the struggle we saw with SIGH against Space Station Gaming in the decision round, where Arcadian would go in, there wasn't any sort of follow-up, he wasn't able to find any room, especially on Rygon, and he would just take a bunch of damage, and then he'd be out of the fight.
Oh, that stun lands onto the Rook. He actually gets knocked out of the quicksand, but still a huge amount of damage to the The counter's not procced either, Zorby.
Yeah, that is huge for the trade. Now both front lines, not a lot of health. If they get the stun, it's actually knocked up. Pushed away. So, SIGH staying alive and getting good damage out, forcing Hythar back.
Oh
my.
Okay.
Oh my. Oh, he goes in on the rush. Oh, Arcadian is in danger and he's dead. That was, yeah, clinical.
Yeah, clinical. Huge amount of damage coming out onto Arcadian in that last moment. Unimportant, gonna take a burst himself, as does Dexarian. And once again, the orb control swiftly in favor of the blue team. The Beast Hunter winning these rounds pretty handily.
I think we're seeing the advantage here that Beast Hunter has just as a team, and it comes down to this Varesh pick. And Varesh has done so much work already in this series, and it's allowed them to take pretty comfortable victories. SIGH got pretty close. They were able to get a lot of damage onto Hythar, but then Hythar smartly, he's like, yeah, but it doesn't matter, because we're on Orman Temple.
Yep.
I'm just going to displace you, and he had a great combo, rock into rush. It is always deadly, no matter what.
Okay.
So SIGH's got a rope.
Inflame just getting up in there so quickly. Yeah. The Beast Hunter's so aggressive, dude.
They can afford to be aggressive, and Arcadian taking a ton of damage. Pulled out in the side, they're trying to get the stun. No, double stun,
that was
and
beautiful.
The in cap. Hythar, big play.
Yeah, that was pretty gross. The amount of damage that came out onto both Unimportant and Arcadian was massive, and the pressure's not being let up as the Rook continues to go in and play so aggressive in their face. We'll see if he's able to find anything else or if he'll slow down. He is not slowing down.
Yeah, he wants to go right back into it. They can't really find him or get a lot of damage, and Iva, Unimportant, already down. So Beast Hunter, they're not even sweating right now against this team. Every single thing that SIGH has tried to do, they've had an answer for.
Yeah, the Beast Hunter looking so strong here. Arcadian getting very low, has the Hand of Judgment on him, and without the zap, he has no way to get it off of him. Dexarian, all that's left. The Beast Hunter is now up 3-0, and these rounds have not been close.
You think that even with Varesh, he's pretty much countering everything Arcadian is trying to do. You think with Iva on the backside for Arcadian that they'd be able to kind of counter that, at least counterbalance it, and have things balance out. Instead of this being this one-sided affair for the Beast Hunter, it's been really difficult for them for SIGH to use the Rygon effectively, even with Iva and the zap available.
We'll see if they're able to do any better this round, but 3-0, not looking good for them. This Rook pick working out really well for the Beast Hunter, and on the flip side, the Rygon finding no success. Once again, Inflame just walking in there.
He doesn't care. He's just going to go and do some damage. He actually took a little bit himself, so evened out, but Hythar going to put on the pressure, get the in cap, turn right back onto him, the target switch right on the Unimportant. Arcadian wants to finally get in and do something and actually get a good bit of damage out on the Hythar. Hythar avoiding that extra damage. Arcadian now finally finding some value out here on the front line.
Yeah, the ultimate was used by Unimportant, but it did not secure the orb, and the Beast Hunter have yet to seed an orb in this game. Ultimate from Older going to land down bottom onto the Varesh, but not too much damage is coming out as a result.
Now, the Inhibitor's Guard was available and really negated any kind of damage that can the Shatter, just harassing Arcadian. Do they get the orb? No.
Nope. Up top, though, they will find the kill onto Inflamed as he's maybe committed a little bit too hard. Found himself up in that choke with no way to get out. Hi there, and Dope. All that's left, the ultimate from Rook going to come out, but he's not going to find a kill with it. This round's looking all but over.
Yeah, and too aggressive. When you're comfortable up, you're 3-0, and you're getting some damage out, actually, but Hythar does go down, and the only man left is Dope. And so Dope going to go down as well. SIGH finally breathing signs of life there.
Yeah.
It was looking like it was looking like Boulder City. You know, the wrong way for SIGH.
Yeah, well, it was just raining down boulders on him for a little bit. They managed to take that round, and even an orb, something a little bit uncharacteristic from them this game. We'll see if they're able to continue this momentum, though, is that might have just been, you know, like a couple slip-ups from Inflamed going in too hard. If he plays a little bit more defensively with his team, it could just go right back in the Beast Hunter's favor.
Well, that's why they won the first 3 rounds. He was aggressive but smart and staying with his team instead. He's like, I don't need Hythar, and just runs up himself. Yep. So, you know, as long as he stays together, I don't think Beast Hunter concedes this at all. They try to close in on Arcadian. He minimizes the damage with the parry and able to get out. The zap coming through to allow him to stay in, but the Shatter's available, and he gets out but takes a ton of damage.
Yeah, so much damage came out onto Dope, though. The trade likely being worth it for Unimportant and Co. Up top, though, Arcadian, he's getting a little bit low, but the orb goes to SIGH.
SIGH gets their first orb of the game. believe it is.
Second.
Okay, they did get the last
Still,
one.
not a great thing.
Yeah, not at all. But they do get this first orb, which is big for them. Some damage coming out onto Dope, but switching right back on, eating the machine gun, coming straight through, hitting him on the counter. And then the time travel coming in. That's a lot of damage on the Hythar. Hythar having to rush out. Does he get this orb? He gets it on his way out, so damage, but mitigated with that orb.
You mentioned it. They got that orb, and that was so huge for the Rook. He now has the ability to eat or in-cap, and he's going to go right in as he saw Arcadian use that parry. He baited it out now. They're finding a huge combo and a double in-cap. Orman Temple, Knight, you don't want to play against Rook on this map.
And then he rushes right into him, knowing exactly where he was going to go, times it perfectly, and Hythar coming in big, inflamed as well. The bait, hey, they took it, and Beast Hunter get right back on track.
And that's the difference between teams like SIGH and oh gosh, Unsung, or Youngsung.
Youngsung.
Yeah, they weren't able to find that combo in the split moment. They had the opportunity on the Rook. Meanwhile, in our last series, we saw Youngsung reliably finding these huge combos. SIGH maybe showing their signs of being a little bit of a younger team there.
I think that, I just think Beast Hunter is this strong. I think SIGH is a great team, but like we said, they struggled against Space Station Gaming, who Beast Hunter really kind of rocked.
Yeah.
They rocked in the regular season.
No pun intended, right?
Yeah, they weren't, I mean, they weren't close affairs. And it's difficult for SIGH, who got in beating Atrocity Exhibition. They were able to take a round here. But right now, Beast Hunter, they just look so clean right now. And the only reason they lost the game is because Inflame got a little too trigger happy up in the top of Orman Temple. Oh my gosh.
That was a very, very fortunate series of events for SIGH, though, as they got a lot of damage out onto both Dope and High there. We'll see if this orb is going to go to the Beast Hunter. It looks like it will. Very important for the blue team.
Yeah, absolutely. And now trying to aggress Arcadian in a little bit of trouble. The parry and the zap going to get him out. He wants to go right back in on it. Trying to pull it, unimportant. Hasn't been able to get a lot of damage. A big stun. Onto. Yeah, Inflame took a good bit of damage there.
Yeah, he got chunked pretty hard in that split second. Very good punish by SIGH. Maybe hearing me say they weren't punishing on time.
They're able to respond, but the in-cap, and they get the orb again.
Ultimate coming out from unimportant, but that's going to have no effect. The counter was available for Rook, and that was the easiest Q press of High there's life. And on the other side,
Dope is hitting everything right now. Yeah. He is not missing.
Dude, he's so dope.
He's so dope. Hitting these shatters, hitting the M2s. Oh my. But Hythar wants to pressure here, already forces the zap out from Iva.
Okay.
Unimportant, big stun, Hythar, he's in trouble, but he gets pushed out and has the Eat Flesh available, going down and goodbye, Unimportant.
Goodbye!
I can't speak fast enough for how fast that one happened.
Goodbye. Arcadian is alive, but I'm not sure for how long, and Flame does go down, so this is something that's possible for SIGH, but Arcadian does get flicked on by Dope. He says good night, looking like he's going to be able to find the kill on the Older as well. That crush is huge. How do you walk away from that crush?
You don't. You get crushed.
Yeah.
You can't walk anymore.
And that's exactly what SIGH just did. They got crushed as the Beast Hunter win 5-1, only losing that one round, like you mentioned, because Inflamed played a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah, Inflamed just played up a little too far away from his team. And again, this came down, I think, to the draft. I think that Varesh is just a really good pick against Ryga.
Okay, so do you think you ban Varesh?
I think that you just draft better.
Oh.
It's kind of like hit the enemy, don't get hit. It's just like, dude, just build.
The classic fighting games thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get hit.
Absolutely.